Welcome and be inspired with Dominik. Fair warning, today's video will be a little different, but they generally are. Today there won't be a project. Instead, the cult will have an interview with a person of questionable moral intentions. A little background, Ginny D, a popular role and cosplayer, recently released a POV video where one of her characters interviews, well, basically you or the camera, for being accepted into their slightly evil organization. The idea behind this is character creation, and it helps when you're role-playing. In addition to this POV or point of view video, she also published a video of one of her characters being interviewed. In that, she also put out the raw footage of the interview and put out the call to anyone who wants to create a version with their characters being interviewed. I imagine you see where this leads. Let me illustrate my thought process for you. We don't have time for this. But it looks like it could be fun. And it does sound evil. Okay, you sold me on the idea. Let's go. So, that's that. Did I just say that out loud?
You're late. We agreed on sundown, did we not? I hope it's not a habit. Would you normally consider yourself a punctual person?
Yes, very much so. On average, yes. Since we are 3 persons, there's a good chance that one of us is probably on time, give or take.
Well, let's not waste any more time. I am Augury, of course. My business needs no introduction, I'm sure. And it is best that we not name it. One never knows who may be listening. Tell me, what makes you think you'd be a useful addition to my guard?
We, the cult, are a useful addition to everything. Except sports. Cannot really run in these robes. Or see incoming balls. But anything else. Or anything that requires hand-eye coordination. With varying degrees of hands and eyes. Let's just say yes and see how it goes, shall we?
What makes you so special?
I am the leader of this cult. I am ancient and somewhat different in some aspects. And I like crafting and owls. Does that count?
This work requires a very particular set of skills, and we'll get to that, but it also requires a certain mindset. Would you consider yourself a moral person?
Depends on the kind of morals. I mean, we have a rating of mildly inconvenient, but we will be rated as evil one day, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure whether I'm a mortal person. I mean, I'm a cultist, so I guess it depends. As long as nobody gets hurt.
And were you raised with this outlook, or have you come to it on your own?
A bit of both, I'd say. I tend to take what I want, you know. Who told you I was raised? I would love to talk to those who raised me because I cannot remember. Is it okay if I prefer Thunderbird?
As death is a necessary part of life, it is also a necessary part of this job. You've killed before, I assume. Please describe your first kill.
I mean, there was that one party back in the day where I was really killing it. Not sure that is what they mean. Be that as it may, I distinctly remember the punch that night was murder. And you, cultist too? I can't remember when that happened. You killed someone? I don't know. I can't remember. And you? Well, I don't mean to brag, but I left no trace, as if it never happened. So, did it happen? I don't know. I left no trace, like, at all.
How old were you?
Consistently 1 year older each year. I take a much less conservative approach. Like that one time you claimed you were practicing not aging when I found you napping in the ritual chamber? You're just jealous. 3. What? At some point I was 3.
What did you feel?
I felt gutted. Seriously, that punch was not good for my digestion back then. I always feel so many things. One of them is numb. Does that help? I imagine I felt a mix of joy, anger, relief, sadness, shame, and curiosity. So basically normal? For a certain degree of normal, yes.
Would you say that you believe some deserve to die?
Certainly. I'm not sure whether I can even die, but if others feel they are entitled to it, I don't mind. Yes, of course. Did not expect to hear that from you, Cultist 3. Who am I to deny someone that which they feel they deserve? I'm not sure either of you understood that question.
What circumstances might merit such a punishment, in your view?
What punishment? It probably depends on the circumstances. I'd go with very old age, maybe. What my colleagues mean is that they're open for discussion on the subject. No, I'd rather not be. Ignore him.
And what are your feelings on torture?
Intense discomfort and pain, I'd assume. I prefer more subtle means. Stern letters are generally a good starting point. Or throwing spectral apples. Yes, that usually works well. Except on Dominic. Didn't we agree not to mention him? Maybe, but I'm open for discussion on the subject.
Is anyone off limits to you? Women, children, the innocent?
Well, that all depends, I guess. What is wrong? Are these questions getting too evil for you? No way. I just want to keep my options open. Not sure whether that is the right question to do that if you really want to be evil. Who said I want to be? Now you're overdoing that mysteriousness thing. What thing? Seriously?
I see. Well, then let's discuss tactics. I am not merely seeking brute strength, although of course that can be useful in its own way. If given the option, would you rather deceive, convince, or threaten someone into doing your bidding, or my bidding?
Would I rather derive, contrive, or thrive someone? I'm all for doing all those things when the situation commands it. Personally, I'd rather ask nicely. After trying that a couple of times, a long, deep, sad stare generally does the trick.
And are you a good liar then?
Yes. Sometimes. Maybe?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes. Sometimes. If it fits into my pocket, maybe?
I want to be clear with you. I understand that each living being has their own mind, their own beliefs. My goal is not to change those beliefs in you, but simply to identify the cost of overriding them. Money is no object here. I'm seeking the very best, and I am willing to pay for it. Let's imagine, just for a moment, that someone bribes you to turn on me, to reveal my secrets. Could you be bought?
Isn't that what you are trying to do here? If we couldn't be bought, we wouldn't be here. He has a point. You are trying to buy us, right? I just want to point out that our integrity is not for sale. Ah, yes. Our integrity as soon-to-be evil cult is beyond reproach. Yes, beyond a roach.
And if they torture you, will you break easily?
I am pretty sure that there are not many things that I have not seen before. Yeah, especially with our hoods always being down. I for one can't break. I'm too amorphous for that. Yeah, but he can make quite the splash. You had to go there, didn't you?
Well, I'll tell you in advance. Anything anyone offers you to turn on me, I will double it. Consider it a reward for delivering them to me. Come, it's not all so dark. What about, errands? Chores? Are you too good for them? Delivering messages, for example. Refilling my wine.
Yes, we are. We are too good. I'm not sure that is how they meant that. In that case, I guess we can. Unless it is more evil if we don't. Depends on which way you'd prefer it. Initiative. I like it. I'd rather do small chores than the really bad stuff. I should have known. Anyway, it seems we have errands and small chores covered.
You will not be my sole guard, of course. I already have many formidable creatures in my employ. Do you play well with others?
If the situation warrants it, yes. I'd say it depends on the game being played. Frankly, I prefer cooperative games to competitive ones. Yeah, Pandemic has lost its appeal in recent months, though. Too real. Would you rather play Shadows over Camelot? As long as I don't have to be the traitor. That would be sus.
And if you were to identify your main weaknesses, what would they be?
Fermented carboxylated spinach. My main weakness asked me in confidence not to reveal it. Something about general data protection. I will say these two.
Interesting. I do like you, I admit it. I find you unique. You would bring something new to my offices, there is no doubting it. What will it take? How much a week to tempt you away from your party and whatever your current objectives are, and bring you into the fold?
A letter of recommendation for the Cult Classification Commission. Frankly, I don't enjoy being folded that much. And 1,000 gold coins. Each. I would not have expected you to be this greedy. I mean, how else would I be able to support artists or charitable causes? Why did I expect anything else? Still, 1,000 gold sounds like a good basis. The lair needs better heating. Or we could get a better lair.
You could have anything you wanted, you know. Consider it. Don't be hasty. We're in the city 3 more days if you decide to accept. Inform me by then, and if you don't, well, let's hope we don't run into one another again.
Let's get out of here. Can we get back to thwarting Dominic? Yes.
You may go.
Whose idea was this anyway? Yours. Oh. And that's the interview. Let me know what you think. I'd appreciate your comments, and if you liked the video, please share it. I usually do more maker-related stuff and projects, but the cult has become a kind of a staple of my videos. As it should be. Thanks for watching, and as always, be inspired. Whether you enjoyed it or, well, I'd love... leave a like,